friends, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to finally be sitting down and doing a bunch of filming. It feels like it has been forever. Literally, whenever the daylight saving times happens, it kills my ability to film because natural daylight just becomes incredibly hard. So thank you guys for bearing with me, even though I've kind of been like a little spotty with posting videos lately, but I have a well overdue pan that palette challenge to share with you guys. We are like really deep into November at this point, but I'm still gonna go ahead and count this as just my regular update. I've made some really good progress, so I'll go ahead and start with my Bomb How About Them Apples palette. I will go ahead and show you what my palette looked like last month after 9 months of usage. And here is what my palette looks like after 10 months of usage. So as you guys can see, I actually have managed on Cobbler to get some pan to start peeking through. The thing with Cobbler is the formulation of this is it is very sort of, I don't think oily is the right word, but it's very emollient and it doesn't take a whole lot to pick up on my finger. I actually have it on my lips today. I typically will apply this in the morning and then put some kind of gloss over it, and I have not applied this to my cheeks just yet. I was gonna wait to start working it onto my cheeks as well when I was done with Crisp, but I'm gonna be honest, by the end of the year, if I have used up Crisp and only have Cobbler left, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this because having gotten to pan on this point in time is perfectly fine with me. I also have another Cobbler in another Bomb palette. I have the Volume 1 like Greatest Hits palette from the Bomb, and I have this exact shade in there, so I don't feel necessarily as compelled to use this up completely, but I am happy that I have pan. I also have been making good progress with Crisp. I've really widened the circle here, and I don't have a lot of product on the outer corner. What I am going to do with Crisp for the rest of the time is I'm going to take a bobby pin like I've done in the past and scrape the outer part and mush it more towards the center. I'm finding that it's really hard with this much pan showing to pick up on my stippling brush and apply it to my cheeks. I'm really also glad that I waited to be using Crisp because this to me is like the perfect color that I have been absolutely loving on my cheeks. So all in all, I'm really happy with this. I definitely think I'm on track to finish up Crisp by the end of the year, and you know, at least I'll keep making some good progress on Cobbler. So we'll just see. I'm enjoying this palette. You guys know the story. I'm really glad I've gotten use out of this, and it's like the most blush I've ever been able to pan in my entire makeup existence. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Maybelline the Blush Nudes eyeshadow palette. I'll show you what the palette looked like after 9 months of usage. And here is what my palette looks like after 10 months of usage. So, can we believe that I am down to 2 shadows in here? You guys will notice that I didn't have a whole lot left in this like deep maroony purple color. And so I finished up that little corner that I had left, and then I really was loving this matte sort of mauve color that I had. So I just kept working away at it and pretty much used it exclusively, and so I got those 2 out. I used this one a few times, but not as much because I was so focused on the other 2. And then I have intentionally been saving this shade because this shade to me is one, very generic in my collection. So if I do finish this up and the year comes and I still have this, I won't feel bad about decluttering this because again, this color is a dime a dozen. So going into the next sort of month and really for a good chunk of the rest of the year, I'm really gonna focus on this particular shade. This, as you can see, if I get really close, maybe it'll focus. You can see that neither one of these is very finely milled, but this is really similar in texture to the shade that was over here. So I can pack a lot of this onto my crease area and it really does work itself through really fast. I mean, I had hit pan on this after using it maybe like 5 or 6 times in 1 month. So I definitely feel like it's reasonable for me to use this up. And then this shade I've been wearing more on the weekends as like a quick go-to shade. So I'm really happy with that. I'll also show you guys like the other update I have for the colors I've been pulling in to use with this. Obviously I've been using my Stila in the Moment eyeshadow palette still. No surprises here, but I finished up the cream color that was in here, and I've been really using this exclusively as my lid color. I'll be honest, I am surprised I have not gotten through more of this really fast. But this color, I don't know if it just like is such like an impactful color or if it's just really packed in here. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm slowly still working on this, not bored of this at all, which meant that when I was out of a cream color, I had to go through my inventory, looked at my Google spreadsheet, and I decided to pull out the e.l.f. Matte palette. I've had this for a while. I'll be honest, I'm not super big into mattes in the sense that I'm never gonna be a girl who just exclusively makes matte eye looks. I just love a little glitz, a little something extra to it. So I thought like, when I first got this palette, I was like, oh, I'll start to pull it in and use it, and I never did. So I thought I would start with the cream color, and oh hey, I have already hit pan on it. These aren't very big shadows. And I have to say, I don't love the format of the pans just because with the way I've been pulling this color out, I use like a fluffier type brush, and it's really hard to get all of my brush in there. I don't know, I'm not loving the format of this palette, so I don't know if I'll keep it after I'm done with this. I might swatch it again and decide on some colors I like and pop them out and declutter the rest of this, but I'm just not as super into these palettes as I think that many people tend to be. But all in all, I'm really excited for this. At the end of the year, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit down and pull out like all the shadows I used up in conjunction with my Maybelline The Blush Nudes palette. I think a big pro of me pulling this palette for this year to use was that it didn't really have a lot of lid shades or cream shades for me to use. And so I was able to use up a lot of other shadows in palettes at the same time, which was a pro and con at the same time because again, some of these shades have gone by a little bit slower because I really only have crease colors left. But again, pretty pleased with this project, and stay tuned as well to me doing some upcoming palettes I'm thinking of panning in the upcoming year. But that is it for me. I'll talk to you in my next video real soon. Bye.